You have 24 hours to raise that monstrosity, or we call the sheriff. That's what HOA tyrant Eleanor Hargrove screamed the instant my hammer struck the first nail before I dropped the bombshell, whose engines growled like guard dogs. Midnight. Eleanor, HOA Empress of Aspen Ridge, demanded every stud demolished because it flouted community standards. Fresh cedar clashed with her, cloying jasmine perfume while gravel pinged off her designer boots. She brandished cease and desist papers, threatening six-figure fines, acting as if she owned the horizon. Little did she know I held the deed to something far more precious than my 5 acres, something that would turn her threats into the costliest blunder of her life. But before I reveal how one certified letter legally annihilated an entire HOA, drop a comment. What would you do if neighbors try to confiscate your land? And tell me where you're watching from. HOA horror stories bind us. My name is Nathan Caldwell, **, 47, freshly divorced plumber who inherited 5 pristine Rocky Mountain acres from my enigmatic Uncle Jasper. Let me take you back to the exact moment this war ignited. Because every heartbeat, every scent, every flicker of sunlight on pine needles matters when you're fighting a Goliath who thinks she owns the sky. It was a Tuesday in late April, the kind of spring. Bending over porcelain for 8 hours. My phone buzzed, unknown number. I almost let it ring out, but something tugged at me. I wiped grease on my jeans and answered. Mr. Nathan Caldwell? The voice was polished, measured. Harold Whitaker, Whitaker and Associates, Boulder. I'm executor of your Uncle Jasper Caldwell's estate. I regret to inform you he passed 9 months ago. The water in the sink kept gurgling, but my world froze. Uncle Jasper gone? The man who'd vanished into the mountains in 1982, only resurfacing at Thanksgiving smelling of wood smoke, kerosene, and secrets. He'd sit at the kids' table even though he was 60, carving tiny animals from pine scraps while muttering that land keeps darker secrets than any forest. We wrote him off as the family eccentric. When the lawyer said I'd inherited his 5 acres near Aspen Ridge, I felt the first real spark of hope since my divorce papers were signed. The land was paradise. A crystal creek skipping over river stones, red-tailed hawks screaming off granite cliffs, the sharp bite of spruce resin mixing with wild mint into a perfume no city could bottle. An old concrete foundation hinted at Jasper's abandoned cabin dream, and his workshop looked like a pioneer museum, tools hung in perfect order, jars of nails labeled in his spidery handwriting. Standing there, breathing air that didn't taste like exhaust, I felt possibility for the first time in years. I cashed my 401k, quit my city job, and started framing a modest post and beam cabin. Nothing grand. Her stilettos stabbed the dirt with military precision. Her jasmine perfume clashed with the mountain air so violently my eyes watered. "Pardon me," she declared, striding across my property line as building a residence on my land. "You are Eleanor Hargrove, Aspen Ridge, HOA sovereign." She flipped pages with theatrical authority. "This construction violates multiple covenants. No permits. I see 0 roofs. The Aspen Ridge Homeowners Association governs all residential properties within our jurisdiction." She produced an official-looking document. "Your uncle signed these covenants when we formed 7 months ago. You inherited his obligations." 7 months ago? Jasper died 9 months ago. She handed me a cease and desist order demanding immediate halt plus a $3,000 penalty bill. "Remove all materials within 48 hours, Eleanor announced. "Daily fines begin at $750, compounding weekly. We protect standards with religious zeal." The threat hung like individuals of your caliber. "We maintain certain expectations about resident quality. I'd hate for your daughter to be embarrassed by any unpleasantness." Mention of Ava hit like a crowbar to the ribs. This woman had researched my divorce, my financial struggles, my kid. "Are you threatening my family?" My voice came out colder than the creek. Eleanor's smile was sharp as winter wind. "I'm offering friendly advice. Some battles aren't worth fighting when you're clearly outmatched." She climbed back into her Lexus, pausing before driving off. 48 hours, Mr. Caldwell. Then at my half-framed walls. Eleanor thought she held all the cards. She was about to discover how catastrophically wrong. Eleanor didn't wait 48 hours. Next morning she returned with a lawyer whose suit screamed clearance rack. Reginald Reggie, Poole looked like his bar exam came from a cereal box, stained tie, briefcase patched with duct tape. Mr. Caldwell. Eleanor blared. You are served. Halt construction and prepare for financial consequences. Poole shuffled papers nervously. Pursuant to Aspen Ridge covenants, you owe $18,000 in backdated penalties. Furthermore, absent HOA disclosure at transfer, your title is void. 18 grand for nailing on my land. The reek of Poole's anxious sweat mixed with Eleanor's humiliation. The moment they peeled out, I raced to the county courthouse. Marge, the warm-hearted clerk with coffee breath and kind eyes, pulled records that set my blood boiling. Aspen Ridge HOA incorporated exactly 7 months ago, 2 months after Jasper died. Boundaries ringed my 5 acres like a target, enclosing just 14 homes. My parcel was 65% of their empire. Suspicious surveying, Marge whispered over plat maps. Looks drawn to swallow your uncle's spread. Deeper dive, every HOA officer was Eleanor's relative or employed by her husbands. Summit Builders. This wasn't oversight, it was organized theft with bylaws. I hired Lauren Park, a razor-sharp real estate litigator whose office smelled of dark roast and determination. Legally impossible, Lauren said, spreading files. You can't bind a decedent to covenants formed post-mortem. I've gutted HOA scams, but this is brazen. We filed countersuits, harassment, defamation, emotional distress, plus investigating how my land entered boundaries drawn after inheritance. Eleanor accelerated. 2 nights later, she called an emergency assembly, excluding me. Neighbor Tyler attended and reported over beers on my porch, wood smoke curling into starlight. She's terrified the neighborhood, Tyler said. Claims you're a drifter with a rap sheet. Lies spread like wildfire. Then online warfare. Eleanor created Aspen Ridge Safety Watch on Facebook, posting my photo swiped from a union newsletter beside warnings about transient predators endangering children and equity. Comments were poison. Asterisk remove this threat. My kids aren't safe. Sheriff now. Asterisk, but arrogance tripped her. To justify legal war chests, she posted HOA financials publicly. Numbers screamed. $912,000 in special assessments over 7 months across 14 homes. $65,000 per family. For what? No pools, no gates, no roads. Lauren nearly spat coffee when. Eyes averted. Orders from above. Corruption tasted like rust. Eleanor had leaped from civil intimidation to corrupting public servants. She'd handed me the nuclear codes. 3 a.m. Shattering glass and diesel fumes ripped me from sleep. Outside. Lumber piles smashed like matchsticks, generator overturned, roofing nails scattered like caltrops, truck tires slashed. Anonymous EPA complaint accused me of wetland destruction, a seasonal brook older than Eleanor. Noon. Cars strategically parked to block my drive without trespassing. Drivers claimed public road. Rights. Bogus hazard signs sprouted. My contractor panicked, fearing reputation bleed. Desperation leaves traces. Lauren and I followed paper trails. Peak Luxury Resorts proposed a $60 million alpine retreat 6 months ago. My 5 acres were the centerpiece. Helipad views, golf frontage. Community liaison payment to Eleanor's LLC for $150,000. Bribe gift wrapped. Every day, I resisted cost developers millions. Midnight. Motion floods lit Eleanor's nephew Bryce, 22, pouring gasoline on my timber. 4K cameras caught his panic. Sheriff arrested him. HOA ledgers bled. Phantom vendors. Eleanor's cousin invoicing snow removal from Phoenix. She was pocketing today, betting on resort tomorrow. Trapped animals strike hardest. Eleanor filed. Emergency injunction claiming I planned transient shelter for undesirables, demanding $120,000 damages and barring me from my property. 3 inspectors descended, citing non-existent faults. Led whispered apologies. Ava's mom called furious. Classmates showed Ava posts labeling me a sex offender. My daughter cried, doubting visits. Eleanor had attacked my child. Tyler reported treasurer when demanding audit. Eleanor blocked. 3 families contacted Lauren secretly, fearing reprisal. I visited local stores with defamation evidence. Hargrove accounts frozen overnight. Storm brewed. Prying floorboards in Jasper S. workshop, my bar struck steel. Beneath decades of sawdust, fireproof lockbox, combo Jasper S. purchase. Date. Inside, Caldwell Properties LLC, incorporated 1997. Jasper had bought defaulted subdivision ground leases in 2009 crash. Residents owned houses, I owned soil. Management company routed. Mortgage, payments to Caldwell Properties. Eleanor S. Mansion, for $1,800 delinquent. Eviction in 30 days. Lauren outlined plans. Dissolve HOA, selective evictions, or media apocalypse. I chose Plan D. Expose fraud, have rents, offer land purchase at cost. Community meeting. Eleanor S. slideshow branded me, existential threat. I stood, deeds raised. I own every lot beneath. Barbecue smoke drifts, laughter drowns old threats. Some secrets destroy, others restore. Drop your HOA horror below. Was Nathan S. mercy true justice? Or should he have evicted everyone? Smash subscribe for weekly exposés on tyrant neighbors and legal moves ordinary people use to win. Next, when county grabbed great-grandpa's gold claim for a data center, they never expected the 1892